All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are now boarding this THORnews video. But first, I got to let you know, due to the shadow banning, well, like on YouTube, I've been having to do a fundraiser to keep THORnews up and running for a couple of years now. And I've got $305 left to raise. It was $205 yesterday, but I had a Patron snafu. And so it has gone back up to $305 today. And so if you'd like to contribute to keep THORnews up and running, you know, a lot of times everybody's on the left or right on the right, and I try to go right down the middle, buddy. Although high middle. Anyway, if you'd like to contribute, I got $305 left to raise for my April fundraiser. Inflation is kicking all of our asses. Anyway, I got a mailbox, a PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, a Patron. Nothing but love for y'all, Susan, William, Barbara, and everybody in Astro Fight Club. All right, let's get to it. And I got to warn you, I have some spicy opinions at times. And so, and like, I had to censor myself there. Okay, the basic point of this video is that even though it was announced yesterday that the Twitter deal is pretty much 100% done, I'm here just to let you know that the Elon Musk buys Twitter deal is not 100% done. Gavin John Adams. Hello, everyone. Just a mergers and acquisitions lawyer here. A small voice among blue tech experts. I hate to spoil your premature congratulations and celebrations, but Elon Musk has not just bought Twitter. The board has agreed to recommend his offer to the Twitter shareholders. The shareholders will decide whether to accept Elon Musk's offer. They could still say no. Also, his offer is still conditional on completing due diligence. A lot of hoops he's got to jump through. He might not like what he sees, and he could still pull out. Although, knowing that he's got 9 children, he doesn't sound like the type of guy that likes to pull out. And you're damn right. Sometimes people contribute just so I can continue to make jokes like that. If you'd like to do so, you know what to do. Sidebar. So Elon Musk's like, hey man, I'm going to bring back free speech. Like Taylor Swift isn't tweeting on Twitter. He actually said that. Although technically she is under Swift on security. She tweets a lot, almost as much as me. I've tweeted like 250,000 times. She's tweeted like 146,000 times. Anywho, what was it talking about? She doesn't really tweet. That was on Swift on security, her account. This is her Taylor Swift account, which she doesn't really tweet on much, except I guess to yell at guys sometimes. Damon Albarn. All right. And I always think it's weird no matter who you are, if you have over 1 million followers and you're following nobody, that's just odd. Anyway, this is about Elon. And I'm jumping around here. And then Bezos said, hey, what if Elon's a Chinese asset? Okay, I totally paraphrased, nutshelled that. You're going to have to read the comment later. But, and the guys that Elon wants to set free, and the freedom of speech in the Twitter is the town square zone. Like Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro and Cernovich and Jack Probisiak and everybody who's in that army is always like, hey man, we are totally fighting the Illuminati and we are totally fighting the globalists. That's what we're doing, which sounds like a super nebulous goal. Anyway, but I'm just curious, who in the world is more of a globalist than Elon Musk? Like Elon is from Africa, came to America. He owns giant Tesla plants in China. He owns them in Germany. That like he his Dogecoin and Bitcoin and PayPal, those are global functions that go across the globe. And Starlink is in the sky globally. So it's just always so weird, So I'm just saying that I don't know the whole, like we're fighting the globalists, but they love Elon as like the savior in the fight against the globalists. He's like super globalist number 1. He's the richest man on the planet. All right, I just had to truncate, edit out a hot take. That's 2 hot takes. They're too hot for me to tell y'all. Anyway, Stephanie Rule. P.S. The Twitter deal is far from approved and done. This shit will take months. A lot can happen. No one else seems to want it, but the FTC and the SEC and DOJ can weigh in and impose conditions. And then, that was 9 hours ago. Sidebar, it's weird in the Taylor Swift Unsecured account with 146,000 tweets. She's done a bunch of stories about Hyperloops and she's giant into technology and stuff, though she never really tweets about Elon, like ever. Interesting. Although Elon and Taylor should date and be like a superpower couple. Asterisk, there's an inside joke there. All right, Joe, the stalwart, over on Finance Twitter, is talking about, he's quoting Elon, "This is binary. My offer will either be accepted or I will exit my position." So, the deal's not done, especially if Elon is like, "Hey, man, take it or leave it." And Alex Weprin is like, Elon really did give Twitter's board an ultimatum this morning in a letter he filed to the SEC. And so it's still got a lot of hoops to go through. And, the letter's here and you can read it all if you want to. And so, yeah, dude, I mean, it's not a done deal. And that's what I'm saying. Someone pointed out, James Soroiki, Musk is taking on $25 billion in debt financing to acquire Twitter at an average interest rate of between 4.5 to 5%. That means Twitter's going to have to pay 1.15 to 13 billion a year in interest alone, which is more than Twitter made, last year. And so a lot of it is trying to figure out, like, how did Elon come up with the funding? Remember, he got in trouble for saying he had funding secured to take Tesla private, and then he didn't. And so, there's still a lot of questions, and there's a lot of shit swirling around. Another thing, it's like, people don't seem to remember that, like, he became the richest man on the planet during a pandemic. And he also told everybody in March that, like, hey, by April, the coronavirus was going to go away. It dropped to 0 cases. And at the same time, Bitcoin was at like $4,000. So at a low point, he told everybody, hey, don't worry about it. Shit's going to be great. And the thing I still can't figure out for the life of me is, how did Tesla, who's been around for a long time, 2010, even in 2020, their stock was at like $50, $60. So what about Tesla became so freaking fantastic that it jumped from like $50 before the pandemic started to a $1,600 or $1,200 stock, or like $1,000 stock now? What really happened during a pandemic that Tesla, an electric car maker who has seen more electric car competition pop up in the last few years, what happened to make that stock jump from $50 to $1,000? That's a question no one's ever answered anyway. And how come no journalist ever asks, hey, Elon, how many Bitcoins do you actually own? Hey, Elon, how many Dogecoins do you actually own? I mean, I remember when Dogecoin was like way less than a penny. Imagine he bought tons of that shit, and then with all of his clout started to hype it. So he got like a zillion Dogecoin at 0.0034 cents and was like, hey, everybody buy it. And then remember, he pumped it up until right before SNL, and I told everybody on my YouTube channel, I would sell your damn Dogecoin 5 minutes before Elon goes live on SNL, which was right here. I told y'all the peak of when to sell it. And since then, like, it has been hovering. Even when Bitcoin went back up to like 60K, Dogecoin has been a bit of a dead dog. Anyway, it spiked from, up to 16 cents. But I'm just saying, I don't know, it's just so weird that he pumped this thing. So it was almost like he pumped Bitcoin and pumped Doge just so he'd have enough to buy Twitter this year. But even buy Twitter is a weird play. Anywho, and a lot of people are saying he did it so he can bring Trump back and bring all the people back. But people seem to forget that, Trump had a Twitter account when he lost the election. And, a lot of people out there think that Trump did not lose the election. You're free to have your own opinion. This is America. But they seem to fail to remember that Trump kept just saying, hey, the virus will just disappear. The virus will just disappear. The virus will just disappear. Which made him look like a total dumbass. All right. As your planetary defense commander, I never really make a lot of money, especially compared to Elon or even Taylor Swift. I do a fantastic job, and I do tell you guys what I do believe to be the truth. Anywho, and sometimes I get in trouble because you never know who's going to be watching a THORnews video. You'd be surprised at how many billionaires have stumbled across me over the years. Anywho, but yeah, Jack, the founder of Twitter, who left a couple months ago, he did a whole Twitter thing saying, yeah, Elon is the best guy to run Twitter. But he said, technically, I don't believe, well, here he's saying Twitter has been owned by Wall Street and the ad model. Taking it back from Wall Street is the correct step. Except for Elon, it's $44 million he's buying it, $1 billion he's buying it for. And he's going to have to take out a loan from, I think it's Morgan Stanley, to buy it. And so that's not necessarily taking it back from Wall Street. If he's taking out a loan of $25 billion to buy it. And then, here he's saying Elon is a singular solution I trust. But here's the thing, I trust his mission to extend the light of consciousness. I don't know, man. Having the billionaires be like in charge of extending the light of consciousness, that I don't, it's just, billionaires are usually really good at making money. And so I don't know, if a guy is really great at making money, it doesn't necessarily mean he's the best at being an expert in the light of consciousness. But what do I know? Anyway, technically I like Jack. But remember when he tweeted out like Bitcoin will bring world peace? I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, so the basic point of this whole video is just to say it's not a done deal yet. Oh, and I'm about to get in some wacky mumbo jumbo here. 2 days ago, before it was announced that a deal had been found between Elon and Twitter and that he was going to buy it officially, I said, if I had to guess, in sidereal astrology, Saturn enters Aquarius on April 28th, which is a huge deal. You're going to see a massive shift in the vibe on the 28th. My opinion. I mean, it affects more of the Eastern world, like China, Russia, but you'll feel it here. But it also gives me an idea that whatever Elon's doing, it's technically not for America's best benefit. That's a whole nother can of worms. Anyway, but I was saying on the 24th, I think Elon's Twitter bid will get shut down. This is just me taking a wild guess that Elon's Twitter bid gets shut down for good on the 28th. And then, I've been telling everybody that with Saturn in the tropical side on cryptocurrency, it would go down. And my cryptocurrency calls have been freaking spectacular. And so, but now you're going to have Saturn in Aquarius in sidereal and tropical astrology. And so Aquarius is like technology. And nobody likes to mess with Saturn. Saturn is like a drill sergeant, will put you in your place. Taskmaster. And so I've been saying that, once Saturn entered tropical Aquarius, you would see crypto have trouble, and it dropped from like 66,000 to into the 40s and 38s now. Anytime Saturn is alone in Aquarius and tropical, but now it's going to be tropical and sidereal. And so I think, and then you got the lunar south node in Scorpio. Anyway, so it's going to be interesting second half of the year or whatever. But watching the 28th. So that was my big prediction. I think the deal will get shut down on the 28th. I could be totally wrong, but it is definitely going to be fascinating. Watch the 28th for a major energy shift. But if you might be like, bullshit, but like Saturn is in Capricorn right now. So Saturn in sidereal Capricorn, which, affects the east part of the world a lot, but affects definitely the USA as well. So like this is a good visual image of Saturn in sidereal Capricorn. Fuck your entire life. Everything. It's all Three of Swords and the Tower and the Devil and death. Anywho, and so in the very last degrees of Saturn in sidereal Capricorn, you're going to have a horrible shit show. And so for the eastern half of the world, right now, that's a turret. Right now, you've got, Russia invading Ukraine, and that is not going very well. It's got the world on the brink of World War III. You've got Chinese stocks plunging as Shanghai has been in lockdown, but now multiple more cities in China are undergoing rapid tests and are having panic buying because it looks like they're going to be undergoing lockdowns in China. And then in India and Pakistan, you've got a super duper deadly heat wave hitting. And so, definitely watch the next 48 hours will be wild. All right. Hopefully I said some interesting things. You ain't got to agree with me. Remember, it's all free speech. We're all allowed to have our own opinions. So, but this is just my thoughts. But dude, I nail shit all the time. It's probably why I'm shadow banned. And I don't tell you to, believe people on the left or, believe everybody on the right. Try to stay in the middle. It's probably another reason I'm shadow banned. I'm all for peace, world peace. That's part of, as your planetary defense commander, I would like to see world peace and a return of rock and roll. Anywho, I hope you have a fantastic morning. And if you want to make my day, you can make a contribution to THORnews. I definitely kick ass and do my best to bring you guys excellent information all the time. And because you guys basically pay my salary, I stay, with an eye for the people. Ain't nobody paying me to tell y'all dumb shit. You guys pay me to tell you what I believe to be good information. So I got a mailbox, PayPal, Venmo, CashApp, Patron. Only $305 left to raise for my April fundraiser. I got absolutely nothing but love for Asteroid Fight Club. You guys have been utterly amazing to me. That's why I do try to do such a great job for y'all. So please let me say thank you to Susan, William, Barbara, Tyler, Michael, Gretchen, Megan, Mary, Michelle, OGF, Carol, Avriel, Cody, Tyler, Justin, Jesus Loves Gays on Facebook, Carmen, Riley, Rix, Darlene, the Texas Angel, Robert, Karen, Patricia, Alexis, Lauren, Glenda, Arnica, Lightsoul, Dan, Marlita, Brian, Ann, Max, Miguel, Teresa. And thank y'all to everybody. God bless y'all. Stay cool and have a great day.